the public buildings that City Hall was previously. They've taken that role on. Would you agree with that? Yes, and I noticed that this public builder, Toronto Community Housing, was able to rebuild Donmar and Regent Park very successfully. And Regent Park is a wonderful neighborhood right now, mixed income housing, redesigned, complete neighborhood with a nice community center, school pool, condominiums, affordable housing, good mixture. So
Okay,
it's a good model.
so
Part of
Crown
what we
land
don't
being
know
built by
about that now
condos.
is there's Don Mouse
The
is
Crown land
actually
supposed
turned
to be
over to
built 40
private
years
development
for the low income.
and Regent
This is a violation of
took
the
shape
government
so
taking the
that
poor
they could
people's land that's supposed to be for hospital
front-loaded,
and
front-load
school
the work
and for the next generation of
very
poor income.
successful for Regent
So
Park.
now we're in a
Regent
pickle,
actually now
a
goes
state of
ahead
emergency because they do not
on
follow
all of the rewrites that have been
the
subsequently
monarch
been
law.
the lead
So they go against
developer
God's law
technically is GTHC
and
and
violated
being
human rights.
supported by
And now this is a penalty that
private
they get.
developer who's delivering housing. Yes, there's been many models of public building and has been very successful. In fact, some of the seniors that reside in downtown with 34 Oxford Street, 168 Beverly Street, a group of them at McCall, on Clinton. I can just go on naming all the buildings that are seniors buildings that are really well run, and they were built by the public builder, Metro Toronto Housing Corporation. So it's not as if we're waiting. We have built. We have GCHC that's building. We have
So
nonprofits that are
you have
building
Calgary
with
Housing
green,
Co-op.
with green built along.
So technically the
So we
conservative
have
are
some
trying to
actually of our own
implement the
corporations
way
that are
Alberta
building.
runs.
We're not really
So
waiting
Ontario is being
to
taken
get
over by the
public building.
conservative
We have
government.
built. We have
So a
built in the
co-op,
past.
they're gonna
We
come
have
up with some
built
kind of
in the
co-op
workplace
stratus.
through CCH,
I know
and
their plan
we will.
because they're Alberta
I guess
conservative
just to
government.
report that
They
actually
even advertise about the
uh,
government in
they have
Ontario.
a
Why do we
roadmap
care about
on
Alberta
how to
government?
do a lot.
Just saying.
And one
Guys,
other thing from the
know what's going on
presentation
and what we're
today that
fighting
was very
for.
telling when it showed
We want what
rent
was
per
in
month that
stone.
cost somebody rent per month that it costs some of these shelters. And I know that discussions go on with the Ministry of Housing as provincial. I'm just not sure that those Ministry of Health or Ministry of Corrections are actually part of that, that they realize the impact on their budgets of having to house people in
See?
shelters or in jail compared
The
to
kids could participate,
capital building housing.
but the rest of the community never end up coming for these meetings.
That you will have to ask the
Why?
speaker of that question.
When we ask a
But
question,
we
they tell us,
do
okay, sir. Thanks
remind
for
folks
your
that those
suggestion.
numbers are factual.
They don't
They
understand it's not
are
one individual that's speaking.
science-based kind of.
It's a community that's talking
One
through
way
that
or
one
another,
person,
we are
and they choose not to listen.
deciding
Just saying.
their the cost of the failure of
Hey, big man.
yeah, so they're spending a lot on housing, perhaps not as efficiently as it could be. We are also seeing putting aside money, we are seeing life lost. If you look at the number of overdose deaths caused by opioids, and that number is tragic, it's huge, and it has correlations with homelessness. And until people have a shelter over their head, they cannot. It's very difficult for them to deal with drug addictions. So there is something called the Housing First policy. You ask any
So,
medical doctor that I know
discrepancy
who are treating
is
patients
what they're trying to
for
say, what they're
addiction,
launching.
they always
Discrepancy
cite
against
journalists
people that use drugs,
studies
mental
that
health.
there has to be a housing
This is an
first
attack on the
policy in
citizens.
order to start
So,
people living
just saying, the city's going to hell
feeling
because they create problem and then try to solve it.
thank you. Okay, I see that that's it for the question. Councillor Moyes to speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And through you, I'd like to just say thank you to the Housing Secretary congratulate Abby Bond and her team for all the work they've done in this today. And I want to also take this opportunity to thank I am very supportive of the mayor's plan of introducing a public builder model to expedite the construction of affordable homes on city lands. All levels of government have acknowledged on several occasions that we are in the midst of a massive housing crisis. But however, it seems extremely disappointing that
Housing now? I thought John Tory is supposed to come up with housing in 10 years, and then he quit. Just saying. Sounds like the same old shit.
And I'm confident that the recommendation before us today will assist in achieving just that. The site of 405 Sherbourne Street, situated in my ward, was approved in summer of 2021. And we are eager to see the project start as soon as possible. I'm optimistic to consider the public builder model. My community and I are hopeful that this will fulfill our long-standing desire to this site to be a co-op housing. I urge the federal government to release the promised $1.5 billion to build new co-op housing. The provincial government involved in this crisis.
Where are they gonna put the housing? So this is forward plan.
If the provincial government truly wants to address the housing crisis,
Remember,
now is the time to take
Region
action
Park's supposed to be
and
for the
announce
next
funding
low income.
of their own.
So if the land is taken now and condos on it,
Yet
where are they gonna put
essential
hospital
plan to build
and school
65,000
for the
affordable
next
homes
generation?
in the next decade
None of them never thought
require
about this plan at all.
considerable
Something that was already there 100 years
and
ago,
federal government,
and they fucked it up.
ranging between 20
And now they're
26
scratching their head, wonder about the people that's
$3.5
dying,
billion.
that have no family, no table,
Just recently,
nothing to
I
eat,
had the honor
because
of
they have no
joining Mayor
family
Chow, Deputy
to
Mayor,
fight,
Malik,
to work
and
for,
Mr. Ian
because their home is
announced the
taken
federal funding
by whoever
to
that
build
built on it
43 new
condos,
supportive
poor
housing
people
units
land,
in the downtown.
and they don't feel shame at all.
While we are grateful for this funding, it is clear that this is only a drop in the bucket. The provincial government must come to the table to do more. Mayor Chow is leading by example, showing that we as a city are committed to building more affordable and supportive housing urgently. However, all of this is only possible if we receive serious and substantial commitment from government.
$40 billion every 40 years to build a poor income housing.
All we need now
Where's the $40 billion, John
is the money
Tory?
to build this housing.
Just saying, people, look into what's going on with your government.
Thank you.
So once I put this video up, you know, they're coming at me once again. How are you?
Members who are comfortable and living well in the city, and that has continued to grow the inequality that many of us are experiencing. And so to see this really dramatic and important shift, and to be part of a council and working with the mayor and our staff to drive and champion this shift, to a place where we are again centering the needs of those most marginalized and really being proactive and thoughtful as it relates to our investments. The question has been raised, does this make financial sense? Do we have the dollars? We know that the right folks in this important
What
area
happened to the
are
$40
at
billion?
table. And now
Just
is the
saying.
time to secure a new
All
deal
that
for the
interest
city and
did
to
not make
ensure
much,
that
did
we
it?
do have the financial investment
Of course they
to bring
do.
this
Ask the
much
monarch.
needed, desperately
Every 40
needed
years,
housing
$40 billion.
online. We are paying
We
for
have our
it,
history, you know that. Just saying.
3, 4, and 5 times
I got a
in other
video to tell the
areas.
whole world
And
what
if
you guys
we
are
don't,
doing.
urgently move forward in this direction, we will continue to dig ourselves into a deeper hole at the cost of suffering for individuals who frankly deserve much more than what they've been able to get and access in our city to date. So again, my thanks to staff. This will be a Herculean effort, and we look forward as members of council to continuing to work with you to show what is possible when the best of us work together and walk in a good way in support of those in our community who need us most. So those are
How
my
about
comments, Madam
Samson?
Speaker. Thank you very much.
And just ripped the whole city down and then rebuilt it. That makes more sense. $40 billion unaccounted for,
Councillor Chang to speak.
and nobody could count where that money went.
Thank you.
Just saying.
I have a technical amendment
2018,
to the motion.
$40 billion gone.
Amendment to the item.
And I
Yeah, okay.
just a few words.
Okay, can you speak on it?
Yeah. Well, hopefully everyone can just read, just adding the words between and then swapping out the word federal with provincial, with the provincial government in that section. So, but what I really want to say about this, this motion that puts us into high gear for creating housing in our city, is that as we develop these pathways, which I'm sure is going to be a great educational journey, which I'm sure will have, as it was initially envisioned by council across the city. We are building across the
So
city.
you guys know who's the one who run your government?
In my ward, I have over 180
The people that usually
high-rises.
has laptops and
the
computer.
fact that we continue to build
Those are all the
without
private business
our
that's trying to buy into your
developers
city.
affordable housing
I hope you
into
guys
their
understand
buildings
what's going on.
such a lost opportunity. So
These are
yes,
the
we
private
need to
buyers.
build, but we also need to find that way, goals and efforts for what we can do. But we really need inclusionary zoning to be allowed